All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this video. Don't want to hold y'all up for too much longer. It is. All right, so today I'm going to be putting y'all up on some gems, some things that have helped me make some winning trades at least for these past 2 days. Um, the advice that I'm about to give you guys helped me get halfway through my phase one account, pretty much stress free with really good risk management skills as well. So, I want to get straight to the point in this video and give you all these gems, right? So, by the way, we're also streaming to Twitch right now as well. So, if you guys ever want to check me out on Twitch, you can go over there and add me on Twitch under the Truck and Trader. If you guys ever want to go over there on Twitch and add me, feel free to add me over there as well, right? So, let's get into this video, you guys. I want to take a look at Thursday and Friday's price action if I can. Um, Show you guys some of the things that I was looking at. I know y'all love when I do breakdown videos. I left a message on my community tab. I told you guys that I'm going to be pretty busy in August, so I might not really get a chance to, spend time the way I want to, but I will still be trying to post as much as possible. To those of you who have joined the Telegram channel as well, I will be trying to post in there as well. Obviously, I'm only trying to give you guys the best trades that I can possibly send to the Telegram. So I'm not always in there. I'm actually trading in real life. So if I forget to send the trade, that's you might just have to wait until the next day, right? And that's if you're even trying to take my trades at all. I tell people don't even take anybody else trades. I'm mostly trying to send y'all the trades so that y'all can learn with me in real time. That's mostly my goal for sending trades out in the first place, right? It's not to try to help anybody, spoon feed anybody forever or anything like that. But I do want to help some people get funded. I want to help some people just grow as a trader because I do understand how hard it can be, when you're beginner or intermediate or even very experienced. I feel like day trading is extremely hard, and it always makes it a little bit better when you have a community of people that you can work with. All right, so let's get into this breakdown. I don't want to get be on my soapbox for too long. So Friday I was taking, or actually today I was taking buys. I believe Friday I think I took some sales for Thursday. I mean, and Friday I was taking buys. So let's look at this daily time frame. All right, we're actually going to even go one step higher and go to the weekly time frame because I was looking at this big long wick on a weekly time frame, you guys. This big long wick right here. And at the time, the price wasn't at the midpoint of this wick, right? Price had hit this little area right here, which is our new day opening gap, and then we had a rejection. But we are on the weekly time frame, so you guys can't see that right now. If we go into the daily, you should be able to see it a little bit cleaner. So you guys see right here, we tapped into this new day opening gap Thursday, had a nice rejection. It went all the way back down into the new week opening gap, and then Friday, right, we touched the midpoint of that weekly wick that I was just showing you guys, and at the midpoint of that weekly wick was actually surprisingly enough was the midpoint of this new day opening gap right here, right? So this is why I always tell all of my people on YouTube, all of the ICT students out there, people who are studying ICT information, the main gaps that I choose to focus on is like the ones that I feel are very powerful when it comes to pulling price up or down, right? And those are the new week opening gap. Sometimes I will use the opening range gap, first presented fair value gap, and a new day opening gap. I do use volume imbalances as well. I pretty much use a lot of the things that you will learn on ICT channel, right? And I'm just pretty much bringing them here to show you guys in real time how all of this stuff works. So I hope it helped. If it do, make sure y'all drop a like on this video. That would greatly help the channel. And let's get straight into this, right? So Friday, we're going to drop down to the lower time frames, right? Because I want to break down Friday's price action for you guys. And I know I have a lot on my chart. Um, I'm going to delete some of this because even for me, it becomes a lot. So I'm going to delete this. And I think everything else, I'm going to leave it on my chart for now. Okay, so I'm going to drop down into the 1 hour. And I'm looking for the opening price for Friday. So I'm going to put a vertical line on this 9 a.m. candle so we can just focus on Friday's price action, right? So Friday's price action. Obviously, when the market is opening, I'm going to take this off because this is liquidity that I was looking at. Normally, I try to leave it on the chart when I'm giving y'all like a trade breakdown, so y'all can see what I was looking at. But just to make things a little bit more clear, right? I'm going to take some stuff off the chart. So obviously, you guys see right here, 9 a.m. We was immediately attacking this liquidity in here. Then we're going to keep dropping down to the 1 minute time frame so we can get to the nitty gritty, right? So when the market opened in here, I just told you guys that I was looking for the market to continue up to go to the midpoint of that gap that was on a weekly time frame, which I just said was the midpoint of this new week opening, or I'm sorry, new day opening gap right here. So when the market opened today and we had this little small, short little sweep of liquidity down here, and then we made a breakaway gap right here. This is a breakaway gap, but this is also the first presented fair value gap. So that's why this was on my chart before I just deleted it. I already had it on my chart one time. It's something that I tell y'all to use all the time. I'm going to keep repeating it just so you guys can really understand the significance of it, because that's one thing ICT doesn't really do all the time. He doesn't repeat everything in every video, and I feel like that makes it a little bit harder if you're a new ICT student, or even if you have only been learning his concepts for like maybe 2 or 3 years. I can almost guarantee you there's things that you have missed because I have studied ICT concepts like 2 times over. I probably watch most of his channel, at least 80 to 90% of his channel, at least twice. Okay, so I'm not trying to flex or anything. I'm just trying to give y'all context of how much work I have put in to get to where I'm at now. And I'm just trying to simply share that with y'all. So make sure y'all drop a like on this video as well, right? So we was looking at the first presented fair value gap. And if we zoom in, right, because it's important that we really zoom in and see exactly where it's at. Because if we're zoomed out, you won't really be able to read this price action with me the way I really need you to read it. Right? So when I was reading price, we made first presented fair value gap. And then you see this touch right here. We just touched the top of it. And then we really started to get really aggressive going up, right? Now, this is, in my opinion, this is algorithmic, right? Some people don't think that the market is algorithmic. I'm not really here to debate that, but this is all algorithmic. And typically, when you see this type of price action, and then these little 1 minute order blocks in here, you see price starts to respect these things. Essentially, what you can do is you can set your stop loss up right here and just take the buy, right? And that's literally all I did. So I think right here I took a buy right in here during all of this. This was my first trade. My stop loss was under here. Took this buy and I was holding it all the way up to the top of here. Then we got a little bit slow, and so I took my profits right there. That was my first trade. And then my second trade was right down in here. I realized I sold too quick, and I was trying to get back in, but I couldn't really trust it, right? So we had went to this new day opening gap, and then we came down here and sweep some liquidity again, right? So notice what I'm trying to teach you guys is I'm trying to teach you guys the importance of the breakaway gap, just in case you haven't figured it out already, right? Because some of you guys understand ICT concepts so well already, you don't really need much more work, right? It's just, there's just a few things missing, and one of those things is waiting for liquidity runs, even on smaller time frames like the 1 minute time frame, right? And when you see a liquidity run, did you get a breakaway gap soon after, right? Because if you don't get a breakaway gap soon after, then it's really like you can't trust it all the way. So when I seen this little cringy run up, then the market came down here. We swept this low. We swept a couple lows in here. We didn't sweep all of the lows because why? Price action is really bullish. So when it's really bullish, we're not going to be coming down here to sweep all of these lows. How do we know it's really bullish? Well, we had the first presented fair value gap, and then it just touched the top of that and kept going, right? And then it came back and did the same thing with this gap as well, right? We made this big gap, touched the top of it, kept going. Every time we make a gap, we touch the top to the midpoint of that gap and keep going up. When you see this happening in a live market, that's a very bullish signature. That's like you can really trust that. And if you don't trust it, that's fine. You might have to backtest it a little bit more. But in order for you to start allowing yourself to trust it, you have to really take the trade and put very small risk on there and allow it to dance around for a little bit and see how close it gets to your stop loss, right? That's how you start to begin to trust these trades, right? But before I, start going a little bit too deep, this was my second trade. Same thing right here. Because, I try to hold my trades for as long as possible. I had a target that was pretty much the midpoint of this new day opening gap, but I really wanted the market to go all the way up here to take out this daily high. But as you guys can see, we never really got up there. We tried to work our way up there, but we never really got up there. But let's stay focused, all right? Because I want to show you guys this breakaway gap after we came down and swept liquidity, right? So you guys can see right here, we swept liquidity, came up, made a gap. We hit the top of that, the same signature that I was just explaining to y'all 2 seconds ago. We just grazed the top of it. So when I seen this, I waited some more, right? Because I didn't really trust it. When I see a breakaway gap, I prefer to not touch the gap at all. But it can touch the top of it and still be very bullish, right? So I took a few entries in here. I had my stop loss right down here, or this one as well. Actually, I think I might have even been using this low just to be even more safe. And then as we made another gap in here, I stacked up some more positions, pretty much sold at this very top right here. And that was all thanks to my beautiful girlfriend. She was like, babe, get out the trade, just take the profits and enjoy your day. And I was like, you know what, babe, you're right. And then before you know it, the market started to sell off, right? We started to sell off. We went right back into that gap and then made another little small bounce. But those were essentially my trades for Friday, right? Just essentially trying to show you guys something that I know some of you may miss. And if you do miss it, leave a comment down in the chat. Let me know. Is this something that you miss? Do you wait for breakaway gaps all the time? Do you wait for, like, if you're trying to sell the market, do you wait for really powerful signatures, or are you just taking any type of fair value gap? I really want to know what y'all say. I really want to know what y'all say, man. And I'm watching on Twitch too, y'all. So if y'all, say anything in Twitch, I'm gonna be able to see that as well. So let's get back to the video. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time talking, but we're talking about breakaway gaps, you guys. We're talking about liquidity and we're talking about breakaway gaps. These are, if you can begin to start to understand those two concepts and how they have to be coupled together, and when they're coupled together, it's very powerful. If you can start to understand that, I can guarantee you, you're going to start having more profitable trades. You're going to start completing your phases more. You're going to, become a funded trader. It's going to take time, but you can definitely do it. It's happening in the market every day. I can give you guys a million examples right now, just on a 1 minute chart. You guys can see these breakaway gaps. Look at this breakaway gap. Just look what happened right here. We swept this liquidity. Market came down, swept this liquidity over here, swept this little low over here, made a breakaway gap, went right up. As soon as you see this breakaway gap right here, I would trust it with at least a very small position, just in case you're wrong. But guess what? If you're right, it goes up here, sweep this liquidity, take profit, hit. Even if you take a small trade, you're building your account. And that's another video I want to make for a different time, talking about risk management. Obviously, you guys see me blow accounts. I'm being transparent about my downs as well. I have to be transparent. I'm not going to be an affiliate with these companies and tell y'all to go buy a Funder Pro account, but not give y'all the real on how you can lose money if you keep buying Funder Pro accounts. You don't know if you don't know how to trade them. I have done that. I've been there already. So I'm just trying to give y'all the real deal Holyfield to say, yo, look, trading, this shit can really work. But you have to put the work in, man. Like when I first started trading, I put nothing but work into this, man. Every day. And and I'm not even where I want to be, but I do feel like I'm getting closer and closer, and I want to bring as many of y'all with me. If y'all willing to learn, I'm willing to bring y'all with me. ICT already put us on by giving us the information for free. You know, I hate to criticize ICT, but I do wish he would have kind of like taught it the way I'm trying to teach it right now. And so like just keep saying the same thing in every video so I can understand it a little bit better. But he literally said that he taught it the way that he taught it for a reason, because he wanted to see who was going to be watching those 3 hour videos, who was going to be watching the 4 hour videos, because he left a gem at the end of the video. And I felt that because this is something that he worked hard to unlock. This is something that he worked hard to accomplish. And people take it for granted, in my opinion. Before I started trading futures, I was trading forex. Before I started trading forex, I was trading penny stocks. So I've been with many different mentors. I've been mentored by Timothy Sykes. I did the whole IML Academy stuff. Right, I've been on many educational platforms and learned many things. And to be honest with you guys, a lot of them wasn't consistent. Like a lot of them was not consistent at all. it wasn't until I really started learning about these ICT concepts that's when I started to find consistency. But even still, I wish I had somebody online who was trying to like teach it a little bit different ICT. And people do try to do that online, But I feel like they're not giving y'all the real deal Holyfield with these concepts, bro. Like even when y'all see people charts online, their charts are way too clean. How are they going to teach y'all how to use ICT concepts if they got a blank chart? It looks cool on a video, but you're not really teaching anybody anything. Right? So breakaway gaps, you guys, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about breakaway gaps. If you just simply just use breakaway gaps alone, I'm telling you, you will win. Wait for liquidity to be taken and then wait for a breakaway gap to form. Okay, I'll show y'all more examples. Right, so that was Friday's price action. Let's get into Thursday's price action. Because Thursday price action is a bit more clear on why I'm talking about breakaway gaps because I got faked out a couple times. Right, so the reason why I have these two arrows on my chart right here is because when liquidity came to sweep this high right here, let me zoom in. When liquidity came to sweep this high, I was taking sales. But the problem is I was taking sales from this area right here, which is a first presented fair value gap, when I knew I should have just been patient and waited for it to hit this new day opening gap. But at least I was able to get myself out of the trade when I realized it wasn't going to keep going down as much as I wanted it to. But essentially what I'm trying to show you guys is that when we swept this liquidity, look at this. This is not a breakaway gap. It did make a gap. But look, notice how when price comes all the way back into it. So that tells you right there, price is not getting ready to keep going down just yet. Right? Price is not getting ready to just keep going down just yet. Versus on here, especially if we look at a different time frame, because sometimes you do have to go to a different time frame. You may not see the breakaway gap on the 1 minute. You might have to go to the 3 minute. You might have to go to the 4 minute, right? Let's go. As I know, I seen one yesterday. That was, it may be this small one right here on the 5 minute. But I know I was selling all the way up here anyways because of this. Right? So write this down if you haven't written this down already. Some of the top gaps that you need to focus on while learning ICT concepts are the new week opening gap, the new day opening gap, the first presented fair value gap, and the first presented fair value gap from the evening session. You can add the open range gap onto there as well, but those are the main gaps that I will focus on while learning ICT concepts. So this was honestly the only reason I even knew to take the trade all the way up here. I didn't get a wick entry or nothing like that. But when we failed to hit the midpoint of this new day opening gap, that was a signature alone. That had already told me, oh, wow, we failed. Okay, now price is starting to go down. Right? And then as soon as we break below and we start making these gaps, look at how price hits this gap and then it wicks down. Price hits another gap, wicks down. You're going to be able to find a sell in there somewhere, which that's what I did. I took this first sell and I sold in here. Like I said, I don't even be holding my trades as much as I need to hold, but I'm trying to get better at that. And then I also got back in and I took another sale and I sold like around here somewhere. I was trying to hold all the way down here, but like I said, I couldn't hold. I'm not the best when it comes to holding. Sheldon Johnson said, I'm here watching. I realize everybody has their thing. Seeing you focus on breakaway gaps. For sure, bro. Everybody has their thing, bro. You know, I'm just the the reason why I'm talking about breakaway gaps because we all want to get into that market that's not choppy, right? Like we don't want to. That's why I'm showing y'all this price action right here because what we want to avoid is all of the chop, especially when you over leverage, right? Because we all have over leveraged before on a choppy market. Then we get chopped up, right? We get faked out. Then the market goes exactly where we wanted it to go. This is why the breakaway gaps are important to me because it's an indication that not only is the market getting ready to move, but it's getting ready to move fast. That's all it really is. If you're somebody that can sit through the chop and you don't mind that, by all means, do your thing. But I remember one of the first things that like intrigued me about ICT and the way he traded. Every time I studied his trades, when he was getting into the trade was moving in his direction. There was a like, many of videos where I seen him sitting through some chop as well and sitting and being patient. But on a lot of his videos, I'm like, damn, how do he continue to get into the market and then every time he gets in, it's flying. So eventually I realized, okay, he's not just waiting for liquidity. He's not just waiting for a breakaway gap. He's waiting for all of those things in one. Because even if you just take this trade right here, right? Look at what happened when the market comes down, sweep this liquidity. Look at what happened. Breakaway gap. I actually do think I took this buy too. I'll have to go into my account to look, but I'm almost 1,000% sure I took this buy. Because this right here is textbook. Breakaway gap right here. Market comes down. It literally tested. It tested almost 3 different times. We came down one time, didn't want to get in there. Came down twice, nope. Came down 3 times, no, it still ain't do it. You could put your stop loss right in the breakaway gap. If you want to have a pretty tight stop loss, this is how you find these really good trades, right? Like, if you want to get in, let's say you ain't going to get a perfect entry. So let's say you get in up here somewhere. Okay, let's say you get in right up in there somewhere. Let's say you put your stop right there. And let's say you was targeting the midpoint of the new day opening gap. At the very least, the midpoint, right? That's a 2.68 to 1 risk to reward ratio. This is why the breakaway gap's so strong, right? Because look at this. If you take one little small position right here the first time it comes down, another small one, another small one. Now you got 3 entries. Look how long you had to wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not 10 minutes. That's a 10-minute trade. Now, obviously, you're not going to always have a perfect entry. Let's say you get in all the way up here somewhere. It's still a 1.5, 1.7 to 1. Let's say you don't get the midpoint. You had to get out early. Even if you get a 1 to 1, bro, it doesn't matter. This is how you complete your challenge. And you do it stress free. And look at the time in which this happened. 9:49 a.m. So as soon as the market opens, you go up there and get faked out. You come down here, sweep liquidity. It's textbook. It's textbook, man. You're gonna get it wrong from time to time, but I'm not gonna make this video extra long. I just wanna say Go into y'all charts, man. Find liquidity on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15-minute time frame. Go back test this stuff. Go look into your charts and say, where was liquidity swept? Where was the breakaway gap? And what was I thinking on that day when it happened? Did I miss it? Did I take the trade? Did I see it? Always review y'all trades on the weekend. I don't know if y'all do this. Me, I'm addicted to trading. I'll be honest. You can ask my woman. You can ask anybody. I just want to be a professional trader, bro. I just want to wake up in the morning, be with my wife. I'm not married yet, but I'm just talking about the future, right? I want to have kids. I just want to trade, maybe have a couple other businesses, study, learn new languages, become a master in chemistry. You know, hopefully build a nice community of some cool people I can come on here and talk to on YouTube. And that's it. That's all I want to do. I just want to share this with y'all because I want everybody else to be successful too. Like I've been losing for years, bro. I just had my first payout this year. I worked hard to get my first payout. Prop firms is where I really started to really learn how to manage my risk and come up with systems and come up with trading strategies and trading ideas. It was prop firms. Before that, I was pretty much gambling, bro. I was just like fund my account for $1,500, $2,000 account or whatever, and just try to turn it up. And more than likely, I'll blow it. Like my goal is to help as many people as I can help to like not have the same type of miserable um, experience with trading. Really, all you need is the right information. If you study it enough, if you mess with the right people, I tell people all the time, you ain't even got to mess with my channel, bro. Just study ICT. All Everything is on his channel. The only difference between my channel and his channel, I'm taking y'all straight to the gems every time. You don't have to watch a 4-hour video to get one gem. I'm going to give you 10 of the gems that I had to search for on his channel in one video. Sheldon said, I'm reviewing right now. I don't need to be professional. Just want to be consistent, man. None of the fluff. Yeah, bro. Consistency, to me, that's what make you a professional is the consistency. Is because without that, you're nothing, bro. Like if you can learn how to read price action really well. Like I used to really think like, dang, bro, all I want to do is learn how to really read price action and know where the market is going. And when I found ICT, he pretty much helped me do that. Now I can really read the hell out of the price. But why am I not a millionaire? Because now I'm going over the risk management hurdles. And that's where the challenge of being consistent is really going to come in at, bro. Like you hear traders talk about it all the time. You can if you're an A+ risk management type of person, you can have a C- type of strategy and still be profitable. The reason why I had to go back test my strategy so much is because when I was recently funded with Funder Pro, my 100K account, I was going off the rails, bro. I started doing stuff that I don't even normally do. So I'm like, I need to refine my system. I need to really do better because not only do I want to be funded, but I want to have my funded accounts for like a year, 2 years, 3-4 years at a time. For me, that's real consistency. I want to be consistent for decades at a time so I can put the whole family on. And I want the same thing for y'all, man. I'm 31 years old, bro. I'm 31 years old. So if you listening to me as a younger guy, older guy, it really don't matter. The only thing that matter is this. Jobs are dwindling, bro. Everything in this world is expensive. Everything in this world is getting more and more expensive, bro. You can't even start a family no more. You can't even have a baby no more. You can't even be happy and go on vacation or take an off day. We're moving into a world where you're going to need to know how to trade. You're going to need to know how to invest. It's not going to be optional no more. So you might as well get on top of it right now, man. It's just as important as anything else. Learning a new language, learning chemistry or science or mathematics is just as important as all of that stuff as well. So I'm gonna end it with that, y'all. Like I said, man, I could talk to y'all all night, but I just wanted to come in and just tap in real fast and talk about some breakaway gaps and see what y'all think about it, man. I appreciate you for dropping some comments down below, Sheldon. Make sure y'all drop a like on the video if y'all haven't already. Don't forget to always use code TRUCKIN whenever you're making a purchase from either Funder Pro, Apex Funded Trader, Tradeify, or Trade Day. Make sure to always use my link. Use code TRUCKIN. That is the best way to support the channel. Also, don't forget that we have the special going on right now with the free Telegram group, where like when the markets are live and moving around, I'm going to be giving y'all a live commentary, but only if we can get more people in that free Telegram group. We got to get some more people in there. You know, I had a couple people come in before I kicked them out because they tried to like pretty much scam me. So you know what I said? You know what? Instead of trying to charge people, I'm going to just make it free so that we all can just learn together, right, and build a community. So that's what I'm doing right now. So make sure y'all check out all of the links in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'm out, man. I'll see y'all some other time.